And thank you for being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Okay, let's start it out real quick, okay? Type K if you are excited about Kaden Proctor coming back to Alabama. Type K if you're excited about Kaden Proctor coming back to Alabama. Look, I'm excited about Kaden Proctor coming back. Here's why. The young man started in every single game as a freshman last season at Alabama. I get it. He was inconsistent. I think the entire offensive line was inconsistent. However, he was a freshman. He was 18 years old. And I think for what Alabama's offensive line was, I mean, he wasn't the only weak link the entire season. I kind of rewind back to the game against Tennessee. Remember Tennessee's defensive line or their pass rush was ferocious? I believe it was that game that Kaden Proctor came out of that game with the SEC Freshman Offensive Line Player of the Week. So there were times during the season where we saw what he could emerge into. I do feel that he played too heavy, and I'm curious to see when he does get back to Alabama, which I believe he'll enroll during the summertime, what he will be playing at in terms of his weight. What did he play at, like 360, 370 last year? That was too much. And I remember during the season, and before the actual first game of the year, people were hyping up Alabama's offensive line because they were bigger than NFL offensive lines. Well, and the NFL has figured it out. Just because you're a monster out there, you might be too slow. And I think the way that the SEC has evolved and college football has evolved, these guys are flying to the outside. Like, your edge rushers are elite. So if you're not fast enough to stop an edge rusher, and I think that's what happened to Alabama. So I am excited for Kaden Proctor coming back. And look at it. Look at it like this. I get it. He gets back here and nobody is guaranteed a starting spot. Remember, we always talk about entitlement. You're not entitled to anything. I promise you. Kaden Proctor has to get in here, has to prove that he can be a starter here at Alabama under the new offensive system, has to learn the new system, has to win over his teammates again, has to prove that he can be a day one starter. Nothing's promised because right now you have Pritchett, you have Wilkin-Formby right there, right? Exactly the question. Nobody owes you anything. Just because you come back, great. Welcome back. Get to the back of the line. We already have our starters here. Now, he does have the size. He does have the talent. And if somehow, maybe this doesn't happen the first game of the season or the second game, but if Kaden Proctor is able to work himself up into the rotation where he is the number one tackle again at some point in time, I think it bodes well for Alabama. And he dropped some weight. Think about this, okay? Kaden Proctor played in every single game like I just said. Hey, Arnold's like, stop. He's starting at left tackle. He probably will. Okay, so let's just say at some point during the season, maybe it's the first game, you have Proctor, who started every game last season. And then you have Tyler Booker, who started every game last season. One of the best in college football, right? The center position, I don't know who it's going to be. Brockermeyer or Parker Brailsford, because you know that Brockermeyer and Brailsford, I don't think we figured out the center position. Do you? Do you think it's Brockermeyer that's going to start? I don't know. I think it was some transfer issues with Brailsford. That's why we didn't see him during the springtime. Ricky Smith is saying Brockermeyer is going to be the center. All right, let me ask you, Undefeated. Type B for Brockermeyer if you think he's going to be the starter, or type P for Parker if you think he's going to be the starter. B for Brockermeyer, P for Parker will be the center. Whatever the case is, on the outside of the center position, you have Jaden Roberts, who I'm not sure why he didn't start at the beginning of the season, but he should have. He emerged actually into Alabama's best overall offensive lineman by the end of the season, which is crazy because Tyler Booker is pretty damn good. Okay? So the offensive line is filling out. I don't know who's going to be the right tackle. Is it going to be Wilkin-Formby? Is it going to be Pritchett? Is it going to be somebody else? I don't know. Maybe it would be Formby, which would be pretty cool. A guy from Tuscaloosa, right? And I know I'm already on the Red Bull. I have to be. My schedule's crazy. I posted it on social media. 4:45, wake up. 5:40, 5:30, workout. You should have seen our workout today for F3. It was crazy. Crazy. We ran some stadiums at a nice stadium over here in Tuscaloosa. Just saying. But I'm excited about Kaden Proctor coming back. That's why I asked you. Just type K if you're excited about Kaden Proctor coming back. And good for him. And look, do you remember where you were mentally when you were 18 years old? Right? I mean, if they would judge you by what decisions you made at 18, okay? Leaving, he was homesick. Look, ironically, I went to school in Iowa from New Mexico, okay? And I'll never forget when my mom and my stepdad at the time dropped me off in Pella, Iowa. Man, I'd never been away from home. Now I've lived all over, right? But I remember it's different. I played football up in Pella, Iowa. And it was, I was homesick. I really was. So people saying homesick, whatever. I mean, the other thing is he can come back, which he's going to do. And I think he learns a lesson here. And I think a lesson to everybody out there and all of the prospects is that the grass isn't greener. Just because you go somewhere else, can you imagine having every single thing at your disposal here at the University of Alabama? And then you go somewhere else and you're like, I had it pretty damn good at Alabama. They're taking good care of me. So whatever the case, welcome him back. And, you get back to business and you have to earn the starting position back, which I mean, hey Arnold, what's up, man? I agree with you. I think he's going to be the guy. Hey Arnold, man, we're rapping today. Hatch, New Mexico. Woof. Who knows about that Hatch green chili? And there's nothing like Hatch green chili on a cheeseburger. Man, I know we're already talking lunch. It's only 9 a.m. right? You know, Smook is out there eating somewhere. By the way, Ty Hayes is off today. He's on assignment, so I don't know. He's at the ranch or something like that. So Smook will be coming in at 9:30. All right, I'll take your calls in just a minute. Let me get through a couple of these opening points. Okay, so it was interesting. No portal entries yesterday. Are you surprised by that? Type S if you were surprised that there was no football portal entries yesterday. Type S right now if you were surprised that no portal entries yesterday. I'm surprised. And the more that I thought about it, I think that this sends there's 2 points. Number one, Coach Kalen DeBoer has done a great job winning over this program. And I think the guys truly believe in his system, are excited about the new energy. Okay. The other point is, I think that the rule within the SEC, that you can't transfer from one SEC team to the other during this transfer portal window, has completely impacted where these players are going. Because you can't just go to, a Georgia. You can't go to a Florida. You can't go to Missouri. You can't go to Ole Miss. There's rules that stop that, right? That's amazing. Someone said we had a kicker hit the portal. I'm not sure if there was. I'm saying that there might be a kicker that needs to come in. That was just me. I don't know. That was an area that I'm concerned about, but that's for another time. So I think, with the portal entries, we'll continue to track it, but a little bit surprised that there wasn't a player to hit the portal yesterday. Okay, let's talk basketball transfers in and out. I know we all follow this basketball team. I'll take your calls in just a second. This basketball team, there's a lot of moving parts right now, okay? So we're watching Mark Sears, Grant Nelson. What are they going to do? Out is Aaron Estrada. Nick Pringle hit the transfer portal last night. Are you surprised to see Nick Pringle hit the transfer portal? If you're a basketball fan, you're probably not surprised. This was kind of been in the works, right? Rylan Griffin, he's in the transfer portal. I was surprised to see Sam Walters hit the portal. Somebody said that he was pushed out. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. That's kind of, Sam Walters going out. Now coming in, you have Houston Mallett from Pepperdine. You have Chris Youngblood from South Florida. And then also this week on Thursday, you have Aiden Holloway, which is crazy because he's from Auburn and he's visiting. He's a 4-star. He's a guard. He'll be in here Thursday, right? And then you have Cliff, I don't even know how to say his name, Omarjier from Rutgers. Clifford O. Have you seen this guy? 6'11", 240 pounds. I know he's going to visit Bama. Let's just call him Clifford O. Look him up. He's a monster. And I think if anybody needs to come into Alabama, it's a big man. I would be excited if Alabama gets a big, imposing, guy that can be a rim protector. Clifford O, look him up, 6'11", 240 pounds. He'll visit Bama. And then I just saw this morning on the Rivals. The Rivals transfer, I know I talk a lot about On3, but man, Rivals has a really good transfer portal Twitter account. Liam McNeely, who's a 5-star, he's a small forward, has also been pointed into the direction of Nate Oates and the Alabama Crimson Tide. You know what? What Nate Oates has done here at Alabama has been really amazing in this short time. And to see these 5-stars or to see heavy interest in Alabama basketball, I have said this a million times. Alabama basketball, this wasn't a one-hit wonder. This wasn't a first Final Four run. Where Alabama is going, like, they are here. This is now a football and basketball program. Nate Oates, he has this program rolling, and get ready. I mean, if they can just get a big rim protector that is a little bit athletic, like, I would more likely for Alabama to have like a Klingon, somebody from UConn as opposed to Edey. He fits more in the system. Somebody who can get back in transition defense, or somebody who could run the floor, right? But a big man is definitely needed. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube.